Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. AJ, the CEO. Hello. Look, I understand. I'm sitting back. I need to sit up, but man, I am sore. Like all of this is just tight, and it was so uncomfortable to sleep. See, isn't it for G. Albert? You were saying, how am I enjoying my time off? What is this time off thing? I try to be nice. I want to help, but man, it's like ain't have no breaks, none at all. But hey, we are here. Thank you so much for joining, folks. AJ, the CEO, here. We try and come here every Friday as best as we possibly can to try and answer your media ministry questions. Folks, I do not know everything, but hopefully the little bit I do know will make your journey a little bit easier. We'll learn and grow at the same time. So if you've seen some of my latest videos, contrary to what the vocal minority say, I keep in the flubs. So that way, I can show you this ain't scripted. I don't write out a script. I don't use open AI to or chat GPT to give me a script. We just go off the cuff. So I want it to be relatable so that, hey, most of the stuff I'm seeing new too. Like I used to say back in the day, I've broken stuff more than you. That's the only reason why I know it more. I've broken it and I've had to fix it. That's all it is. So hopefully I can help you answer these questions so that you don't have to break it. If I don't ever get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Give me 48 to 72 hours to respond, preferably 72 hours to respond, and I'll get back to you as fast as I can. Last week, I was tired, so our roundtable was canceled. We will have one this Sunday. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, go ahead and do that. It's like this with over 3,200 media ministers from all over the world where we're just working with each other to help our knowledge and share. I don't have my hands on every single piece of equipment, but out of 3,200 media ministries, somebody has your stuff, and we're just there to help each other out. We don't talk about our denominations. We don't care if you sprinkle, dip, or dunk, and we don't share our sermons and live streams in the group. We're just about trying to help each other. Live stream, and you get, I haven't broke this one out in a while, you get Mjolnir, you get kicked out, you get permabanned. We ain't trying to do that. All right. What else we got? If you ever need some more help, know that I'm not taking any appointments until April, but you can book it out. My April is getting filled up already. You can go to ajhomes.com/consultations to book something there, and that's about it. Let me get all the formal stuff out of the way, folks. Don't forget. Know that this is a platform for me to bring a spotlight to media ministries. That includes yours. So I want to shout out you and your team. If you want to do that, go ahead and email me at questions@ajhomes.com. Make the subject my media team. And that way we can shout out your team, folks. Just put media team shout out, put a picture, tell us where you're from, your ministry name, and we'll give you a moment in the spotlight to talk about all the great things that your team is doing. Also, if you're doing great work, please email me your viewer stories because I want to know what you're doing there. You're doing something great. I know a couple of people have done Easter egg hunts and Minecraft and done all this other stuff. We need to know about it so other people can be inspired by what you're doing. Email me at info@ajhomes.com. Make the subject viewer stories. No music in the background, clear audio, 2 minutes or less, or it could be longer. Just don't do 10 minutes or something crazy like that. But go ahead and email that to me, folks, so that I want to highlight y'all. All right, I think we got that out of the way, and I'm trying to get comfortable so that I can not have my shoulders hurt. So actually, I need to get myself back in focus. Hold on, because I've changed my position. Let me get the camera. There we go. There we're better focus now. All right, let's holler at some folks here. Chaplain Leroy. Hello, hello. MKMTTG Manasseh. Hello, hello. We are going to get to y'all's questions. Amy, hello. Lanny, hello. Don't forget, folks, please put your you don't have to put your city if you're not comfortable with that, but put your state where you're coming from or your country so we can see where everybody is from. Anthony, what's going on? Hey, Anthony, I don't know if you can see it. Actually, let me cut over so you can actually see it. We got another system there. The case didn't come in yet. Yeah, with my Chick-fil-A hash browns right there. We got the system right there. The case doesn't come in until Saturday, but guess what? We got everything installed already. So that's what we got going on. I know you building something too. I saw your post. Parker, hello, hello. Dr. JMM, hello, hello. Streets of Destiny, Brother Art, how you doing from Phoenix? Mr. Clarence, hello, hello. Pamela from California, hello, hello. You know who I am. What is going on? Mike from Hamilton, Canada, hello, hello. Keith, how you doing, sir? One Eye CCTV security camera, hello, hello. Mom's Video, what's up? Coach, how you doing? The man, the myth, the legend. Monty, what is going on, sir? Brian Jones, hello. Larry, the maestro, hello, hello. Richard, how you doing, sir? And Norm, good morning. Tangela, hello, hello. G. Albert, hello. Prophecy Zone News, hello. Pastor Daniel. I'm still waiting for that food, man, from Chicago. Rhonda, hello, hello. D. Kobe McGuire, hello. Philip Paul, hello, hello. And Angelo, hello, hello. Angelo, your profile picture looks like somebody I was in the Marines with that I have not seen in like 22 years. His last name was Pollard. I haven't seen him in I don't know how long, but that's what your picture reminded me of. Franklin from Portugal, hello, hello. Alrighty, folks, like I said, please go ahead and put your, start your question off with a Q and all this other good stuff. That way, it makes it easy for me to see and jump back. And if you don't mind, folks, because it helps the algorithm and stuff like that, hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Because if you're like, how come I can't leave a comment? Only these are for people who have subscribed. That gets rid of the spam. Maybe the spam isn't as bad. I know it's bad on Twitch, but that's the easiest way to get it done. And hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. Now, one thing I will say before I get started, if you saw, I had to re-record the Ori WU-HD165K wireless transmitter, and we got it working because it was actually the camera. The PTZ was trash, and I didn't even think that was the problem. But we got it up, and look, it is pointing at the new Anchor C1000. Brian, I think you were talking about that. That's the one that I got. It's significantly smaller, so that's upstairs charging right now. So that one is a lot smaller. The other one, the F1200, is over here plugged in and is backing up as a UPS for my network and stuff like that. So let me know if y'all want a review of that. I mean, it's about the same thing. It's just smaller. But anyway, let's go back here and let's go fire away at some of these questions. Whew. I'm tired. not tired. I'm sore. Morning, AJ family, new members. What adaptive device will allow me to add multiple monitors to my laptop that aren't clones of each other? What video do you have using the chroma key on the A10 Mini Pro? I'll go to the second question that you had first. That one, I had a bunch of videos to go over that. I don't know them off the top of my head. I know I have a playlist for everything that's A10 Mini, and it goes over that, the chroma keys. I'll find that here in a second. And then for a device that doesn't clone, that is actually the Ori that we did a little bit ago. Now, again, the issue with these adapters, no matter what system that you use, the computer actually needs to be able to support multiple displays. And I'm trying to look up the actual model. Yeah, that's the Ori Split Extend. That is the one that actually will do that. That is this one right here. And if we go here, it is this one right there. So you can get 5% off, and you can get it from right there. I'll put the link there, but that is the one that will give you, and they show up as two separate displays. But again, your computer has to be able to support that many displays. Like my M1 Mac can only support two displays. So even when I plug this device in there, even though it's rated for it, the Mac can't do it because it can't push out the image for it. So give me 1 second. And I think I gave a couple of people, they sent me 2 of them, and I gave them away. Then we did that review. I think some people are still using that. They've been happy with that. So hope that helps. MKM, how do you connect the A10 Mini to the Behringer XR18 or X32 for audio? Well, we've covered that a couple of times. And let me pull up a picture of the XR18. Actually, I've done this at Liberty Baptist Church, which I'm actually going to be at Saturday. And they don't have a link on Behringer's website. I went here and it gave me an error, XR18. Oh, strange. All right, so inside of here, we would just configure one of these aux outs that you would use to configure it. So it's the exact same way with the X32. And even though I don't have it connected, I can pull up the app. Man, like just lifting my arm right here, like my delts are like so sore. So inside of here, actually, I think this has software to it. Yeah. Let me see. Let's download this one. No, that's that one. Where is? Yeah, it's the edit. So we'll pull this down, and it's technically should be the exact same way. Yeah, pretty much the same. So I'll walk through this and through the X32, the same setup. So what I would do is you would have one of these buses here. I would just name that, and this one won't let me change the name. I know it has to. Channel, mixer, settings. Where's it at? I don't remember exactly which one, but I mean, it's a different bus that you set here. Yeah, you should be able to change the color and all this other stuff because this is still the settings that were left over from when I did this at Liberty Baptist Church. So anyway, say I don't know where I can change the name at right now. Let's see. Because I want to change the actual bus, not. Oh, well. Anyway, we'll just select bus one. Say that's what we're going to use as our out. We're going to set our channels, set our levels for that actual mix at the one you'll want. And I think it just goes in order. And I could be wrong. There's our sends. So that's where we're going to change the configuration of that. There's our mains. And I thought you could change that. Oh, well. Anyway, we set the levels, pick the bus that you want to use, and you just set the levels for that. So this is going to be custom for what's going to the live stream. Now, normally you would have some type of routing that can go there. But if we go back over here, so it's actually, it looks like it's already in order, 1 through 6. So don't quote me on that, but it has 6 buses. So I'm assuming this is aux 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you connect the cable to this, whatever the settings that you have for this bus, that's what it's going to go to. So that's how you would do it in the X Air or the XR18 or the X Air, same one. Now, if I do it with the X32, it's the same way. I have this bus 1 and 2 is set to my live stream. I have this go to routing. And I have, so what am I going to do for my out? So I have my live stream mix going to outputs, the XLR outputs 1 and 2. I could easily go in here with my aux out and set it to 5 and 6, which I've done here. That's how you would do it. You set the mix, pick whichever mix bus you want, set the levels for that audio. In the XR18, I don't think there's routing for that. Let me just go back to my desktop one more time and make sure I didn't overlook that. Yeah, I don't see, well, in and out. There it goes. There's your aux outs. So this is where I would pick. So aux out, I set this, and we give it, if we use 1, well, that's your output for the live stream. Aux number 1 is going to be that signal. That's where you connect your cable directly to the ATEM. Make sure your ATEM, no matter which way you do it, set your ATEM audio input as mixer. Line in. Come in here, go to your audio, go to general, and make sure it's set to line. I have a microphone plugged into 2, but my mixer is in here. And that's pretty much it. Hope that helps you. And let me get this minimized so I can actually see. Amy, I answered this one, but I'll bring it out again. This was during the pre-roll. What is the best TV to put in church? Well, that all depends on the distance of how far away people are going to be from the TV. Most of the time, and I talked about it in the final tour of St. Matthew's, we put an 85-inch downstairs. It looks massive, but when you're sitting back, because it's in the fellowship hall, when you sit back, the TV looks really small. So I would say like it's signs and wonders. When we did that, the depth of that sanctuary from where the closest person that's going to be to the television was about 25 feet. So we had 75s there, and that's fine. Now at Holy Temple Church of God in Christ, that's an 85 that we put in the center of the sanctuary, and the farthest person away from that is about like 55 feet. So it all depends on the distance. But if you could give me an estimate on what the depth of the sanctuary is and the closest person to it relative to the TV, I can kind of give you an example of what I would pick for that. I personally, let me just put it this way. I personally don't do anything smaller than a 65. I've had other churches that will remain nameless. They put 50s up on the wall, and it looks like I put my phone screen up on the wall. Can't really read anything with that. You know who I am. Good morning, AJ. I purchased the OBS bundle last night, V3 English, and it's really cool. Hey, thank you for the purchase, and I'm glad you like it. Oh, and you got a part 2. And I remember seeing this. However, for some reason, I can't get the Bible doc to work or the animated lower thirds. I tried everything. Well, I did prepare for this. I actually, at St. Matthew's, that computer is just for presentation, all right? But I did download everything, so I am remoted into that system right now. And this is brand new. Now, I did copy over the OBS bundle, so this is going to be brand new. We're going to set it all up here. They're not going to use OBS here, but I just put it there just in case. So you can see this is straight vanilla. So nothing is here. So first, let's go ahead and import it. And for Windows, I always put it on the C drive because that makes mapping everything easier. So because I put it in the same place, once I select it, everything should move over. And I keep forgetting to make an update to the countdowns. They keep getting out of alignment. And I always got to go in here and adjust it. So I'm sorry. I need to adjust this because it just gets on my nerves. I thought I updated this, but it looks like I didn't. All right, so let me relocate these real quick. And number 5. And speaking of the OBS Bundle version 3, hey, we're still open to have it in multiple languages. So you can always contact me at questions@ajhomes.com if you know another language and you want to help us translate it. All right, so what we need to do, let's go over here to live, and we need to get the lower thirds working. So let's just go through each one. First, again, this is brand new, so we should have to do this. We're going to go to the folder. We're going to go into the animated lower thirds. We want to make sure everything under common does not have click unblock. So this is good. I have to do this on all of these. I wish you could select all of them and then just do them all at the same time, but that does not work. All right, we got that. I don't think we need to do the theme. Oh, well, let's just do it anyway. Set these as unblock. And we just need to do this for every single file. Because, again, it's just trying to protect you to make sure, hey, we don't know where these files are coming from. And I think I did these already. Yes, I did. All right, let's go back one folder. Let's go and do these. All right, I think these are actually good. Nope. Unblock. Man, and my shoulder is really hurting. Well, actually, both of them. I think it's just from having to crawl through the ceiling. That's what I think is actually hurting. The logo shouldn't be in it. I guess they are too. Wow. I don't recall ever having to do this much with these. But again, Windows has done a bunch of updates and people are getting real clever with all their hacks and all this other stuff that they're doing. All right, and we're going to go through and uncheck this. unblock all of these. All right, that should be everything for the animated lower thirds. So now we need to get we already have the lower thirds plugin here. We need to add our dock. Let's go to custom docks, and we're going to do animated lower thirds. And since we left this open, we're going to go to our lower thirds. We're going to go to the control panel. I'm going to hold down shift and right click, and we're going to copy as path. And then the URL, we just paste that, apply. And that doesn't work. So since it doesn't work like that, the other thing you could do is just double click on it, and it opens it here. And I don't know why it chokes on that. It puts it in a certain format. Let's go in here, paste that path, and animate lower third. See, now it's working. All right, so I'm going to dock it over here. Let's slide it on over. And if we've done everything right, let's first turn it on. And I'm just going to say, AJ, the CEO, missionary. And if we check it, well, first off, let's make sure, all right, it's right there. Let's check it off. Boom, there we go. Yay. So that one works. So I would say make sure you have all that stuff. Worst case scenario, most likely it's the exact same thing that was with me. Copying the file path doesn't work. But so it adds, see, it says it's this, but it's not really that. So like when I go to Notepad and paste it, see, it adds this full path, and it just shows it, and it works sometimes. That's probably what the issue is. So we got that one there. And then for the Bible lower thirds, we need to do the same thing. It's already configured in here, but we do need to add one more, and I don't remember that one off the top of my head. So that's First Fruits Studio. And we're just going to get the path, not that one. We need to dock. We're going to copy that address there. And then we say Bible. Paste it there. And there we go. I like to have these stacked on top of each other. So I got the little tab there. Let's select King James. And then let's do Psalms 100. And if we click on it, boom, there we go. So hopefully that helps. I think that was it. Now, again, this was completely vanilla on here. So this was brand new. So hopefully that helps you. Let's see. All right, page 3. Mom's video wants to know, have you installed a PTZ PoE or ATEM via network using a Cat 7 or Cat 8? If so, have you noticed any difference? No, I have not used a Cat 7 and Cat 8 because honestly, I think that's overkill. And just from a pricing standpoint, there's no reason. So, there's no reason that I have chose to do that. So, no, I have not used either one. I know I did use a shielded HDMI cable with the ATEM, and it didn't like that. That's why I don't use one like that, but that's about it. Larry is just saying sounds randomly dropping when we are live using vMix. Need some more details. What's your mixer? How do you have it connected? How is your sound getting into vMix? Need a little bit more info so I can help you with that. Dr. JMM from Kenya. I've been seeing the premiere of the Complete Church Media setup at St. Matthew's. And what's the second one here? Thanks for the good support you've given us, AJ. Hey, you are welcome. I am glad to help. Big shout out to Mike, the programmer, for the Touch Portal users out there. Someone lent him an ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, and he is updating the plugin for some new features. Awesome. Thank you, Mike, for that. Back to Dr. Jim wants to know, with JMM, wants to know how I made that countdown. I thought I did a video of it, or maybe I didn't follow up with it. Let me see if I have it in my history here, because I normally make a new database every year when I start doing files and everything for DaVinci Resolve for my videos. Let me wait for the database to pull. Come on. There it goes. All right. So I think that was last year. And sort by name. I thought that's the media booth. I thought it was called Q&A. That's OBS. I mean, I could do it. The OBS bundle kind of showed that as well. I think that's it. 2023 Q&A. Or is that the one I didn't use? Yeah, I think this is the one I didn't use. Yeah, because that, hold on. Y'all are not seeing everything. Let me turn off dual screen. That's my intro. And actually, if you notice, I left off Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. I forgot modern, so I had to redo this. So this is old. I need to find where I actually did it. I can't find it. Let me actually go to the OBS bundle files that I have. I think part of it is in here. So you'll see behind the scenes. That's when we're doing different languages and all that other fun stuff. Let me see. No, that's not my countdown. I don't recall where it is. I need to do a follow-up on that. So my apologies. Let me just look one more time. I don't want to waste too much of y'all's time. So where in the world did I put that thing? Yeah, I'll probably have to remake the video if I didn't do it, because I know I didn't post it. So I'm gonna have to come back and make that and show you. But that was all done in DaVinci Resolve, updated version. We're using a plugin to do that, the tracks and stuff like that. Tangela was saying, morning, learning so much from your installs in preparation for my install and the DMV next month. All right, well, congratulations. And again, use that as a viewer story. When you're done, give me a small little synopsis of what you're doing so I can highlight that for everybody here. As much as I like doing this, and you can see I'm sore, I don't want to do it everywhere because I'm only one person. Hopefully, like Tangela was saying, you get some insight so that it empowers you and gives you confidence that you can actually do it yourself as well, too. That's what I think is great. Prophecy Zone News. I answered this in the comments, but calling it out. He wants to know, what am I using to broadcast this live stream? I am using vMix to do this. Back to Lenny. What mic and stand would you use for a voice narration for Cantata program would you use? I am at the sound desk and need to do narration. This pod mic, the Rode pod mic, is great. It doesn't require power. I mean, granted, you got to be up on it. But if you're going to be in something like this, and I added the pop shield here, well, the windshield, that would be really good. I mean, this one comes in at $100 even. It's a very, very good mic. Let's see. Not the wireless one. I mean, you could use that, but if you're going into a mixer, this one is the exact same one that I use. Very, very good. I actually have bought 6 of these. 4 of them are already Signs and Wonders. I have 2. I got another one on the floor right here beside me while my daughter is here, guest appearing on any meetings here. that's the one I would recommend. I will put a link to that. And again, very, very good mic, right at $100. I have not broken any of these. They are rock solid. And that's about it. And you said a stand too. I'll show you the stand that I actually got for a drum mic. They actually have a new stand, but again, you don't have to spend that much with it. Let me actually go back over here and show you. Actually, let me do this in reverse. I'm going to show you the mic stand that I got that will work with this. I got this one that will work with it, and it's like $17. If you want really want to be fancy, Rode did make a new stand that goes with their stuff as well too. Where is it at? Mic stand. That ain't it at all. Yeah, well, that's kind of like they made a new one. That's really not it. But I mean, it looks the same way, and it's about $10 more. So that other one that I put, I'll put in the link. You can use that as well too. You just need something that's close enough on you. Hope that helps. G. Albert, I think I have all of the pieces and parts of my studio put back together, ready to start with my OBS Prism Live install. Well, it's either one, OBS or Prism Live. And exercise. Good luck to you with that. Page 2. Jacoby McGuire. When setting up a Behringer X32 compact, do you need an amp to run it, even though I have powered speakers and subs? No. The amp is only for passive speakers. A couple of churches I've done, they didn't have an amp at all. And like Signs and Wonders, they didn't have an amp at all. Everything was going to powered speakers. So, no, you don't need an amp if they're powered. Let's go next one. What motherboard is that? That is the B550 MSI Gaming version 2. Hey, I was Gigabyte version 2. It is that one right there. Has a USB 3.0 header on there as well too, right there. So you got to make sure you get a case with it, and it has the shield built in. That makes it a lot easier for installing. So I saw your question. I'm gonna do another video on making that intro there. Back to G. Albert. If I can get my first live streaming teaching video together, can I get you or someone in the family to preview, critique it before posting it? Sure. Make it unlisted, and you can email it to me, and I will check it out. Raphael from Nigeria. Hello, hello. Thanks for stopping by. Robert from New York. Hello, hello. With the PTZ. Well, if it's you know what? And when I sent that email, I never got the email from PTZ Optics to get the download for that. I still have an older version on my NAS. But with any of them, if it's Visca. Now, Anthony, isn't yours only USB? Let me know if that's correct, and I'll go from there and see if I can go from there. All right, I think I answered that question. Ryan from Barbados. Hello, hello. Ramon, good morning. Are there white PTZs other than PTZ Optics? Yes, the SMT AVs are the ones that I installed at St. Matthew's. Um, and actually, I got it. Hold on. I got him in the garage. Hold on 1 second. For another install of this. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, folks. Hey Google, set Simply Safe to home. All right. Hopefully, I didn't have y'all's devices that were oogled go off. But this is stop. Interface was kept talking. So that's an SMT AV. There you go. There you go right there. Up. If I can get rid of this. There you go. 20X PTZ. Very nice. And comes with a white mount. All this other good stuff. Sorry, I was trying to put it back in the box. I will put a link to it. Again, this is the one I just did at St. Matthew's. So if you go look at that video, that is there. And actually, right now, that those cameras are going for $630 right now, as I'm looking at it right now. 20X PTZ. All right. Hope that helps you. Oh man, why am I feel so tired? Now I'm gonna say this. I don't know if y'all have been on YouTube long enough that you see. Now y'all know I have not been to a point where I've had a video sponsored like you see some YouTubers where they send them a product and they pay them. Some people get paid significantly. Sometimes I haven't had any video sponsored like that as of yet. Looking forward to having something like that. But there's a bunch of videos about some people using some, I don't know if you've seen it, AG1. That's like a liquid, a supplement for a multivitamin that's in drinkable form. And so I've been seeing so many people that I follow who normally don't do stuff. They've been using stuff like that. So I've been using that this whole week. It's not bad. The only thing I can tell about it is like, I'm not tired. Like my mind is telling me you need to lay down and go to sleep. But I have boundless amounts of energy. Like even yesterday when I was doing the install, and we were cleaning up all the boxes, I think one of the trustees was like, AJ, here's a bottle of water. Sit down. You have not stopped moving since you got here at 8:30, and it is 3:30. You haven't taken a break. You haven't eaten. You haven't gone to the bathroom. So I don't know. So I'm going to give my honest, candid, non-media ministry review if you've seen anything about like that. It doesn't taste bad at all compared to most supplements I've ever had to take. So just letting you know. So I answered that one. Bobby, hey, AJ, could you show me how to separate monitors from main on X32 so I can adjust volume separately? The monitors are in channel 1 on the stage box. Sure, that's similar to what we just did. If we cut over here, let me get rid of that. All right. So in here, again, if you're talking about you want to separate the monitors. So first on the stage box, just like I have at St. Matthew's, I have another X32 right here, actually behind me. Right there, just came in. That is also for Galilee Baptist Church. I'm waiting for the snake to come in, which is supposed to be here today. You never know. It actually might come in while we're talking. But first, what you need to do is pick whichever channel that you want. You can make it any one of these that you want. say you want to set it as 9 or whatever. So say I want to come in here and say 9 is the, I don't know, choir room. No, I'll say fellowship hall. Oh no, external. So that'll be for anything else. So I can label this whatever I want. And I like to give it a different color so it makes it stand out when I'm picking my stuff. So let's just make it green. All right, so that's external. So that is mix number 9. So now when I'm going through my channels, I pick mix number 9, and that puts that color so I can adjust this to whatever levels that I want that are applicable for said monitor. After you've done that, go to your routing, what output you're going to do. So if you're using a stage box, I'm assuming maybe you have a S16 or S32. Let's go with an S16. You have 8 outs, 1 through 8. They're going to mimic the same thing up here. So when you go through 1 through 8, that's what your outputs are for. All right, so that's going to replicate the same thing. So if we wanted to go with mix number 9 and we want to use the XLR out, the 5th XLR out number 5, that's where I would pick it. I would just pick that and boom. Now the mix number 9, which is my source, is going to go to output number 5, the physical output on the snake, as well as the back of the board. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any other questions other than that. Let's see. Francisco, good morning and congratulations. If y'all didn't know, Francisco and them celebrated an anniversary in ministry 5 years, right? Congratulations again. I was able to pop in on their celebration for a little bit before I had to get on the road. Thank you for the invite. Mike, our Allen Heath SQ5, I have to actually install a SQ5 for TCF. The church is in Northern Virginia. We're actually going to be doing that soon. Every so often, we'll lose the USB connection to the computer, and the only way to get it back is to restart the board. Restarting the computer doesn't fix it. Any advice, experience? I've never seen that. I would say, Mike, make sure first off, go into your computer, and I literally just did this for the other computer as well too. Go to Device Manager, and all of your USB devices, make sure that Power Save is not Anchor USB Hub. Oh, I would come into all of these and just make sure power saving, allow the computer to turn off this is off first on the computer. Remove the computer from the issue, and then hook it up to another computer just to see, do you still get the same thing? If you are getting the same thing, it could be the cable or it's probably the board if you're getting the exact same thing. That's what I would try first. Brian, what's the model number of the new anchor station you mentioned? Yes, it is the C100. If we cut over to it, and let me see, I can turn, this one actually has an app on it, so I can actually connect to it. So let me turn the display on here. I don't know if I'm zoomed in enough to where you can actually see it. Where's it at? Oh, there, screen. Yeah, so we're at 100%. So yeah, that is the C100, fully charged. I thought it didn't have USB, but it does. It actually has two USB-Cs and 2 USB-As, and then it has the 6 outlets, and it's significantly smaller than the other one, the F1200. G. Albert, I'm getting an advertisement video from YouTube every 2 to 3 minutes. Is it on my end or is everyone else experiencing? No, it's YouTube changing it. So like if I go here to the settings, my setting right now is they've made that change. I think it was last year, September, where they automatically push the ads out. So right now you have 2 options that show let YouTube insert mid-rolls for you recommended. And then you have 3 settings: conservative, balanced, or aggressive. I have mine on conservative. Lower earnings potential, less interrupted viewer experience. That's what I have mine set to right now. And I don't want to get in trouble for doing this because I don't know if I'll get in trouble. Let me show you for half a second. See, that's the setting. that's on there. YouTube is doing mid rolls. So I don't have mine on balanced or aggressive. This is the lowest one that I have because hey, this helps pay the bills. So I keep ads on unless you're like a member and do other videos for that. But I don't know. So I'm not pushing them. So that's YouTube doing it for you. Robert here. We are creating a TV wall. What is the best way to display to it as well as our Pro Presenter display separately? What is the best way to display to it as well as our Pro Presenter display separately? Well, I mean, first off, when you're saying your TV wall, are you doing an LED wall like I've done, or are you doing a collection of physical TVs linked together? Which one? Because if you're using the TVs, you need to have some type of brain that knows how to split the image and sends it to each TV, unless you're using corporate displays like the LGs. They have that functionality built in, and you can link all the TVs to each other, and it will do it natively. But which one that is? Because typically the easiest way to do that is that entire wall as well as your Pro Presenter monitor will be considered like it's two separate things, two separate monitors. Like me, right now, I have 3 monitors right here, but then my ATEM is a 4th. So that's where you see all of these are connected separately. So it would be the same way. They run into your computer, and it just sees it as a separate display. But I would need to know the rest of your setup to actually do that. Antoine Muhammad, sorry if I pronounced your first name wrong. I have a channel plus RCA modulator, and I want to continue using the RG6 throughout the building, but I can't find an HDMI to SDI converter to send from an 8-port HDMI switch. I can't find an HDMI to SDI converter to send from an 8-port HDMI switch source computer. Would I need 2 devices to send a camera source over RG6 as well? You shouldn't, but if that is... Now, when you say it's a modulator, the RCA modulator, is it actually coax? Because I've used an RCA modulator, RF modulator that will go from HDMI to that, sending stuff over, sending SDI cable, which is still RG6, over a regular RCA might not work because even though it's the same medium, the same cable that you're sending it over, it's not the same protocol. It's like it's talking 2 different languages. That might not work. But if you could send me the exact everything, I can look it up. I don't think that would work because you're going to be converting the HDMI signal to SDI. SDI goes over, and if the RCA converter that you have can't read that signal, then you wouldn't get anything. So you might have to change that modulator to do that. Back to Ramon. Could I use 2 different name brand PTZ cameras with 1 controller? Why, yes, you can, because that's exactly what I'm using right now. This is a Famaco camera right there. That's a PTZ Optics right there. This is a BZB Gear back there. This is a SMT AV right there. And all of those are going and being controlled by my AVCAN's remote joystick as well as my Famaco one that's under the table over there. So yes, you can mix and match. It doesn't matter. As long as they talk the same protocol, you are good. Rhonda, I saw somebody in a forum said they got it working. I don't know. I need to play back around with that. My Mac is over here. I use this monitor for something else. I need to give it some love and try it again, but I'll have to see. Antonio, man, I haven't seen you in a minute. I hope you're doing well. Good morning, AJ. Can you drop a link into the cable I need to run from my mixer directly into the ATEM? It's dual XLR 2. Can't remember. Yes, dual XLR to 3.5 millimeter. actually ordered like a couple of them by mistake. You need the female end, not the male end. And let me get it here. I was looking it up. You need that one. As you can see, we've ordered that one a bunch of times. I will put a link for that down below. Dual XLR to 3.5 millimeter. Man, I really want to take a nap, but I have to go back down to St. Matthew's to do a training with them at 5:30. So I might actually lay down and take a nap. I actually woke up. I went to bed right at 7 o'clock when I got back home, and then woke up at midnight. Then couldn't get back to sleep until 3:30. Then I woke up at 7. So it's not that I'm not getting sleep. I guess the body is trying to tell me to rest, but I haven't been able to. Richard, hey, you are welcome. I'm not even going to try and mess your name up. So, how to keep a strong network connection for live streaming purposes? That is all dependent on what you're using. If you're using Wi-Fi, get away from it. Use a hardline connection. If you have a hardline connection, that is completely dependent on who you're using. And I left it upstairs. What I've done is you can get a small travel router. If you need to. What I've done, I don't know why that costs so much. I'm looking for the one that I have. But that's the newer version. Oh, that's because that's Wi-Fi 6. I might play around with that, but not at that price. I have something like this. So it gives me wireless access if I need to, but it is still hardline connected. But then the other one allows me to connect my phone to it over that USB. The main thing to have a stable signal is your reception. Get away from wireless as much as you possibly can. If you have to do wireless, see, I have the wireless sitting right beside it, and then it's hardwired to whatever else I'm doing. But preferably always hardwired. And if you're still having an issue and you got a hardwired connection, that is your internet, and you're kind of limited to that. If your provider has a bad signal, garbage in, garbage out, unfortunately. Let's go over here. D Green. Man. I was going to say I need to go on another cruise, but last cruise I didn't get a chance to get in the hot tub. I just need to sit in the hot tub for about like 5 hours. We currently stream directly from the A10 Mini Pro. Is it possible to use OBS strictly for displaying scripture and lyrics, or would it be best to use a dedicated? I mean, you could. You can have OBS output feed into the ATEM as another input, and you can put all your graphics in it that way. It could work that way. I think I did a video talking about that, but yes, you could do it that way. Back to Prophecy Zone News. How do you take call-ins to a podcast if you were taking them on your broadcast? Well, I haven't done it in a minute. Let's see if we can try it again. I normally could take in calls. I normally can bring my phone in through here, but we also have, I have two options. I actually use Google Voice for mine, and I don't know if I still have that graphic up. Hold on, I'm trying to find it on here. Yeah, I do. Let's see. I'm gonna test my audio real quick. All right, so that's here. Then the speaker out. So that's going to y'all. So y'all are able to hear that. Hold on, let me test one more time. And then my mic is here. All right, so I mean, I have mine going through Google Voice. So, but my mixer also has a Bluetooth, so I could have my phone hooked up to it and it comes in through. So let's test it out. Let's see. There's a number. Go ahead and first one that calls, I'll answer and see, and I'll bring y'all in. And I'm going to leave it up here one more time. That's only for live stream. If you try and call any other time, this number does not work. So I'll leave that up there for one more again. I thought I had a graphic that was just without the background, but we'll try that and we'll see how that goes. P-Thans Media wants to know, is there a way to install OBS on the Mac OS L cap? Yeah, it should be. Just when you go to obsproject.com, and it should detect your operating system. I mean, I don't have that version, so I can't really do it, but you should be able to. All right. Let's see. Hello.
Is this Dr. AJ home?
Yeah, hold on one second. You're coming through the speaker. Let me change it real quick.
All right.
All right. Say something again.
Yeah, that sounds kind of sweet, man, to do it like that.
All right. So yeah, I'm just using Google Voice. Google Voice. Now, can you hear on the live stream? Can you hear you?
Not yet. I think the live stream part is getting ready to come through now.
Okay. So I'm using Google Voice. Google Voice is on my computer. My computer's audio is going to my mixer, and my mixer is what I'm talking into. So you're able to hear me, and it goes through.
Yep, I can hear you clear on there.
All right, and somebody else is calling at the same time too. All right, thanks, man. All righty. Hello.
Hello, AJ. It's David Hunt. How you doing?
Doing good, and yourself?
All right, good. I just wanted to assist you as you were doing the live stream here. I actually have a live streaming question.
Okay.
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, fire away.
So I stream through Ecamm, but I also have my ATEM as my video input.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing a delay of like over a second. Is there anything that you would recommend that I try to test out?
What is the
try to fix the issue?
What's the specs on the Mac that you're running that on?
It's a M1 Mac with a the Max chip. It's got 64 gigs of RAM.
The only time I've ever seen now, when you're saying you're experiencing a delay, are you seeing the delay locally, just in the video and audio, or are you seeing the delay on the end, what Ecamm Live is pushing out?
When you say seeing it locally, like I look in the camera and I see myself clap, for example, but then I look in Ecamm and it shows up like a second later.
Okay, that's locally. Now, granted, with the system, sorry, my mic cable got hung up. Hold on one second because I can't hear until I plug this back in. Normally, when I see something like that, the computer can't keep up, but with the specs that you got, that shouldn't be an issue. So it was
fine. It was fine until just recently. So I don't know if there's something, and I am running the latest version of Mac OS.
Now, Ecamm hasn't done a recent update, has it? Do they have any stuff available?
You know what? I'm actually running the beta version. I probably I'm answering my own question as something to try.
Okay.
Try using the released version.
Yeah, I would try that because most of the time I've ever seen that for anybody, it's always been that the computer wasn't able to keep up with it, or it was software that was causing an issue. And especially, I mean, you said it yourself, if it's been working perfectly fine, process of elimination, what's changed? Oh, it's beta software. It's beta for a reason. So they may have done some updates. It might be the latest. I mean, because the beta is the one that hasn't been released yet. So it's probably has some incompatibilities or something that they're still working out the kinks. Maybe you just happen to end up pressing the right thing, and then an issue that's been being resolved in the beta is what you hit, and that's why you're having an issue. It could be a memory leak from programming. It could be anything like that.
Right, so I mean, I make sure that I'm only running Ecamm and main stage, which is my pianos, because I play music.
Mm-hmm.
So I run my keyboard into main stage, and I get the audio from main stage into the stream, because I'm also using a Rodecaster
Mm-hmm.
as my audio interface.
Okay.
And I'm running main stage using one of the inputs from the Rodecaster as my input and output, and then so I could maintain the level of the piano on the Rodecaster as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of moving parts, but I don't believe the Rodecaster is the issue. I think it might be.
Nah, it shouldn't be. And honestly, I wouldn't even, especially with the specs that you got on your Mac, that wouldn't. I mean, that would be the first thing. If I was thought when you were getting ready to say it was like a Mac Air, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the reason. But nah, you shouldn't have. I mean, I've pushed my Mac, and I have the first M1, and I don't have any issues like that. So I mean, you would really, really have to be pushing that thing, and I don't think that would be it. I would probably just see if they have an updated version of the beta software, or go back, get the latest full release, and see if you still experience that. If you're still getting it, then might have to look into something else.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, boss. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yep.
All righty.
Take care.
Yep.
All right.
Bye. All righty, folks. Sweet. All right. So Anthony, if it's the USB one, the PTZ app should talk to it. And I was waiting for my NAS to spin back up so I can see if the older version, I mean, it is old here. So let me see. See, that's the OBS version. That was from 3 years ago. And I still never got the most recent one. So that's the plugin. Copy this to the. Oh, hold on. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I think I dialed the wrong number.
Oh, no problem. All right. So it says copy all of this into the right files. All right, so it says I need to copy this into the OBS Studio. And bin 64-bit. And it won't even let me do it right now because it's probably locked down. So I'm gonna have to. This is an older version, so I need to wait. And thank you for the sub, Caitlin. So I'm gonna have to follow back up with you on that one. See, that was my only concern about bringing in a number. Hold on. Hello.
AJ?
Yes.
Oh, I thought I had dialed the wrong number. I'm Antoine Muhammad. I had asked a question in your chat.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm trying to do is come from the computer through a coax.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to use the RCA modulator. It's kind of old. I want to use something else that's giving me HDMI.
Okay. All right. So that's kind of like what I did with at a couple other places. Now they do have two of them. I'm gonna talk about the one that I use, which is kind of pricier, but it also there is another one that I've used as well. That is the Thor HDMI modulator. That's where I would go HDMI in, and then I just use regular coax, and it goes to all the TVs, and it shows up as a digital channel. That's one that I know I've used, but I've also used the they changed price on that one too. Hold on, let me see what other one they have. Coax HDMI modulator. Every time I say that, it makes me, I'm dating myself. Every time when I say that, it makes me think about Illudium Appeal 36 Explosive Space Modulator. If anybody knows who that is, you're old. Illudium Appeal
I
36?
saw this.
Huh?
I think I saw this online. I think I synced that thing.
Yeah, so I've used the other ones. I mean, the Thor is the first one that I use, but they do have another one that I use there. See, I used this one in New York. And actually when I got it, it was $270. But I do know the Thor one, I've installed that multiple times and I think it's rock solid. But I think I forgot the other one. It looks like this, but it was only for like $270. It worked well. And that you just run HDMI in and then regular coax could go into any TV that supports it and you're good to go. And it's unlimited how many TVs you can hook up to it as long as you keep splitting the signal.
How far does it go?
That's normally, I mean, you wouldn't want to run coax more than 300 feet.
Yeah. And what is it called again?
That is the Thor HDMI RF modulator. And I actually did a video on that when I installed that at Antioch originally.
The modulator.
And I'll put a link to it in the chat as well too. And I need to actually find the video for that as well. Hold on one second. RF modulator. And then if we look this up.
And would you need two of those if you're trying to run the cameras through that as well?
It won't work backwards.
No, I'm saying like if you running the coming out of the what is that, ATM?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I wanted to come out of the ATM into another device like that, so it can go throughout the building as well over coax. Yeah,
that's the exact same way how I set this up. So we came out of the ATEM into this and then coax throughout the whole building.
But it only give you one source. You can't hook up like a computer and the camera. Like on the
There's bigger versions that actually allow you to have multiple channels. This one is only a one channel.
How can you do both on with one?
So like right under this video, this one has 8 inputs and 8 outs. So it's almost like a matrix.
8 inputs. That's got to be expensive, isn't it?
Yeah. Because this is normally meant for like in like old Best Buys where they'll have like one signal and go to multiple TVs and they can press it at a different button. This is normally meant for like an office building or something like that where you have different sources and things like that. I mean, honestly, when it comes to this, I would probably maybe just look at getting 2 of them, like the lesser priced versions in the same thing that has good ratings, like $250, because you get 2 of them for $250 would price out the exact same way as one of these.
The 4 HDMI modulator. Is that the brand?
Thor is the brand.
This 4?
No, Thor. Like
Thor.
Yeah, Mjolnir Thor.
I'm trying to see if I can see it. Okay, it's this. No, that's different.
But yeah, this.
So you put a link.
Go ahead.
You put a link in the chat.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for the code.
Bye.
All right, bye. Alrighty. Springtrap from Indiana. I am doing well, just sore, but that's about it. Aiken. Good afternoon, AJ. How do you put your camera on the side and scripture on the left side like you're doing? That is with the ATEM. That is with a super source that's built directly into the ATEM for that. I show how to do that. You can do that manually in OBS. I'm using I'm using the ATEM to do that. So that's where I talk about it right there using the super source. And I do other ones with the church one, but that's mainly where we talk about that. That's how I'm doing what you're seeing right now. this all can be done with OBS. That's how I used to do it way before the ATEM came out. When I used to do my earlier videos, all of this was done in OBS. You would just screen capture one. Actually, let me see if I can make it really, really quick. Come on, OBS. All right. So over here, and let's just make a new scene real quick to do it. So let's say we want to see, now I'm being too fancy. I'll just pick a background or something. Did I already have something? No. So let me just grab something real quick. Resources, backgrounds. I'll just use that as a background. And then say I want to do I'll do a window capture. Well, no, I'll just do a display capture because that would make it easier. I didn't loop it. I'll do a display capture real quick and say I want to pick the Samsung. So that's what I'm looking at. So I resize that, put it right there. Then I'll also do another, I'll do NDI because I think I already have a camera already set up. So I have this camera. I'm going to hold down Alt to crop this image here. Then I'll resize it. And boom. That's how I would do that and make that as a scene. And that's how I would do that whole thing in OBS. You could do the same thing in vMix, Ecamm, all the other fun stuff. So, but it makes it easy. You do it all in OBS. Love Abounds from Arlington, Texas. Hello, hello. I've been there. Philip Paul. Is there any way to get good audio from the aux out, same quality as a mix? I mean, it should be the same quality. The only reason why I would assume it wouldn't be the same quality is either because of the type of cables or the levels. Are the levels that are going to the aux the exact same levels that are going to your main mix? I would check that first, but technically it shouldn't be at a lower quality. The only reason why it'll be a lower quality is if the cables are bad or something like that, just in my best assessment. Richard, my church has an ATEM television studio HD. From our X32, we have a mono subgroup bus XLR going into a splitter, XLR female to 2 male. I am trying to see if I can get stereo sound into the ATEM. Is there something we need to configure for the X32 or the ATEM software control? Let me go back to what you have, because that's the same one that was set up at Antioch as well as Good Shepherd. You have a mono subgroup. I mean, well, if you're sending mono, it's not going to split it. It's not going to split it to both channels because you're sending mono automatically. And then it's going out to 2 male. So you should get audio on both sides. Trying to think, which church can I turn on remotely that I can actually see that? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's if you're sending mono and then you're splitting it to both channels, it should show up on both channels. Granted, it'll be mono, so really not stereo. It's just that you're sending the same audio on both channels. Yeah, there's not really a setting that would need to change for that. I mean, when it comes to the ATEM Television Studio HD, your channels, I mean, you just got to make sure both of the channels are on. But other than that, I mean, you should be getting audio on both sides. So I'm not 100% sure other than that. And I don't have a way to turn on anything. Normally, I could turn Antioch's ATEM on, but I think some of the other people use the software now to remote in, so I can't turn that on anymore since I've passed the ownership on to them. So sorry about that. I don't know. But in theory, that should work. So I would say just check to make sure both of the channels are on in the ATEM software. That's the easiest thing to check first. Raphael, does Easy Worship 2006 or 7 has multiple Bible translations? I don't know, and I think they sunset that. So I don't even think they support that version anymore, because that's the version we used to use at Antioch, and they sunset it, and we couldn't use it anymore. So I don't know, but even if they did, I don't think they would support it anymore. Lamar, good morning, AJ. Looking to get a used laptop to run X32 Rack via X32 Edit. What is the minimum specs? I mean, if you really, really want to go minimum specs, that software is not taxing at all. You just need to have something that runs Windows 10 and higher. And that program is tiny. So whatever can run Windows at the bare minimum should be fine. Aim for 16 gigs of memory, though, but you should be fine on anything else. Back to D Green. Is that a still photo or live video feed of the anchor? That's live. That is my camera. That is my studio camera upstairs. That is live. So like right now, I can tell you it's live because if I come in here and turn the, where's it at? Anchor, where you at? If I turn that screen on, that's live. So I can turn it off, turn it back on. So yeah, so that is live. That is going over the Ori WUHD165K wireless HDMI transmitter. And we got a phone call. Hold on. Hello, hello.
Hey, this is Antoine again.
Yeah.
So that device that you put in the chat, yeah, I'm not doing RCA. I'm just doing strictly HDMI input to coax out.
The coax, what form is it? Is it coax like the screw-in cable, or is it coax for SDI where it's a locking?
Oh, the screw-in.
Yeah, I don't think that would work like that. You would have to use. I am not aware of a straight HDMI to coax with an F connector that screws on that does that. You could use a Blackmagic one that goes HDMI to SDI that uses RG6. But again, that's a different protocol that most TVs would not use.
Yeah, I think I tried the Blackmagic. I had a little, like a BNC to coax adapter, and the signal wouldn't even go through it. For some reason, it wouldn't even go through it at all.
Yeah, you got to be mindful of when I've mixed and matched, because I stick with the Blackmagic ones because I've gone through so many different HDMI to SDI converters, and there's different standards. And out of all the ones that I've used, the Blackmagic ones are the ones that worked reliably 100% of the time. That's why I never mix and match them. So again, I don't know what else was connected to it, because it is some creative people out there that sell the same device and they make it intentionally look just like Blackmagic. So sometimes you might get confused and think they're the same ones. I've done that before. But back to what you were originally saying, I have never seen anything go from HDMI straight to coax. So I'll ask the community, do y'all know of something? I'm not aware of that. But maybe them or on the Facebook group can help. I'm not familiar with anything that does that.
So is the SDI cable, is that basically RG6 cable?
Yeah, it is RG6. It just has a BNC connector with a locking head on the end.
Yeah, so an adapter should work, but for the Blackmagic that I tried, both of them, like the signal was just too weak. Even if I was close up on it, it just wouldn't work for some reason.
So I don't have one of those adapters on me. Normally the Blackmagic ones, if you'll know that the signal is coming in and going out if it's a light on both sides. So if I have an HDMI plugged in, I should get a light that the signal is going to it. On the other side, I should have a light saying that a signal is going out, and then vice versa on the other end. That's the first thing that I always check just to make sure. Because I mean, those boxes are just dumb boxes. They don't really think. They just take whatever is there, converted from HDMI converted to SDI, and then vice versa, SDI to HDMI. So that's it. The Philip Armstrong shows. Thank you for subscribing. So yeah, other than that, I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem. Bye bye. All right, so that was you, Patrick. How do I stream to YouTube in English and Facebook in Spanish? We have a volunteer translating, and we can run a separate mic to a translator. Oh, I've been wanting to play around with this so much, Patrick. From a high level, let me see. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. So let me break out the diagram for this one. And I'm probably going to do this in a more detailed one. I've just never had a place where I actually could do it, to actually test it out. So this is just in theory. So let's get a computer. And just to go back, you said you want to live stream YouTube in English and then one in Spanish. So it's two options that you could do with this. And I'm going to use the audio interface that you got that Mike has talked about, that plug-in for OBS. I'm going to use OBS, and I'm going to use the ATEM as a possibility for this as well too. So say you got your camera, and you're doing all this other stuff, right? Oh man, that looked bad. We're doing this, and that's going in directly into here, right? And you got your audio, and then we got our mixer, right? And actually, let's make this a lot easier than doing it this way. So let me duplicate the same thing, and then we'll do an ATEM as this. So you're obviously going to need two devices to stream to two different locations. That's why I'll do this. So you got your camera coming in, right, into here. That's your video. Now for your audio, the ATEM, I have done this two ways. So I have, and this goes back to what we talked about with our mixer, right, and our buses. We can have one stream and say this is aux 1, right? That is a mix. And actually, I'll use the OBS one here because all of this is going to be the same. Let's say how you got this connected over USB or whatever. I don't want to get too complicated with this, but just know you have a connection, obviously, to get your video here, right? And let's do our internet here. We'll say this is Facebook. And then this one is YouTube. So that's going, the OBS is streaming that way. The ATEM is streaming this way, right? So what we would do in here is I would have two auxes, two audios coming into the ATEM. So one of them is going to go into mic 1, one is going to mic 2. You can have, actually, let me take that back. Let me not run it into here. I would run my other mix directly into OBS. That's what I would do. So my apologies on that. So I would run this as an aux 2 and say this is Spanish. And then this is just my aux 1 English going here. So inside of here, I would say take the video from the ATEM, but use this audio instead. I'm doing the same thing. My ATEM has audio coming in, but you're not hearing the audio coming from Blackmagic. You're hearing the audio come from my Rodecaster. If like when people called in, you would only hear me talking. You wouldn't hear them because the Rodecaster is not sending my PC audio to the Blackmagic. You're hearing directly. So we would just say in OBS, look at this feed for my audio, which is Spanish, and that's what goes to YouTube. But the one that's going to the ATEM or your other computer, whatever, would do it this way. Now, going back to what Mike has talked about with this plugin, if you can bring in both of these channels into OBS, you can use that that audio plug-in to say, hey, this one goes here, this one goes there. That's what I'm believing. Personally, I'm a simple person. I'd rather have it separate. So for me, I'd rather just have another computer in here doing this. And then that say, in this scenario, we use an ATEM because I'm using the same thing right now. Because my ATEM is sending the video to two computers, the one in front of me and the one that y'all are watching. So I'd have it sent this way. In my mixer, this one is getting the audio mix that's going to Facebook, that's English. This one, audio mix 2, going to Spanish. That's how I would do it. Now, in this mix, that would be the mic of whoever's your translator translating. That's what they would hear. That's a simple way of doing that. Hope that makes sense for you. Okay. Hi, we have an ATEM Mini Pro ISO output number 1. You have a Pro ISO with 2 outputs. Output number 1 is the multi-view. Output 2, overflow room and pastor's office. Need another way to send graphics to monitors in the sanctuary. You're able to do that with the ATEM Mini Pro only has 1 output. So how are you getting 2? That's my first question. If that doesn't work, then the next thing, if you want to stay in the ATEM line, that's when you would have to go to something like the ATEM SDI Extreme that will give you 4 independent outputs, and you can program them differently. But then you got to start adding converters into that. T. Hey, AJ, how are you? Our back TV that has the stage display hooked up keeps going out. We changed the HDMI to SDI adapter, and that fixed it, but then it did it again. Could the adapters keep going out? I wouldn't think the adapters would be going out, but I would be checking the power. How are you powering that adapter that's going to the TV? If it is USB, I would try and change that. And this is why I probably shouldn't have did the call. Hold on 1 second. Hello.
Hey, good morning, sir. This is Vaughn from Canada. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
I'm good. Good to finally talk to you. I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our X32, which is sending the audio via USB to our computer, and the computer is using the DAW to mix and everything, and then streaming out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to build a second, an actual broadcast room. I'm going to get another computer and everything. However, I want to be able to send the audio. I want to be able to send the audio to like both computers if I need to. So, like, say for example, I have enough volunteers or people that I can mix in the broadcast room. But if I don't, I can still mix where the desk is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible? Like, is it like with maybe Dante or something, or?
That's what I was going to suggest. Get a Dante card and change out the USB card that's in the computer. In the X32, and get a Dante card, and then you can split that, and now you can have it run to multiple systems. Granted, it's going to be a little bit more because you would need to have an adapter for each computer and the Dante card for the X32.
Okay, but Dante will be the way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to confirm that before we went forward. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. All right. Back to T. I was saying I can't remember if you're pulling power from the TV. Those converters normally need 5 volts. It could be that the power is not consistent. The first thing I would do is if it's pulling power from USB, get a USB adapter plug and plug it directly into an outlet and see if you have a problem. If you're still getting that issue, even plugging with that, I don't think it's the converter. You have process of elimination would be that maybe it's not sending clean power there and it's spiking or something. That's the only thing I could think. To have multiple adapters die the exact same way multiple times, that is rare. I would think what's the common denominator between them? How it's plugged up, how it's getting power. So if it's getting power from the USB, maybe not enough power is coming from the TV or it's something. I would remove the power from that, plug it directly into the outlet. If you're still having a problem, the still common denominator is the power, so we know it's not the TV anymore. Then I would go from there. That's what I would be thinking. Tamara, do you need to connect a PoE switch to a router in order for an IP controller to talk to the PTZ cameras? Will connecting a router to the PoE switch make the process easier? Yes and no. You don't need it connected to a router because if you hard code all of the joystick and the camera, you don't need a router at all because you've manually set it. I remember doing that back in the Marines when we were playing Doom. And we had modems, and especially when I was at college, when we were playing Command and Conquer. I have ran an Ethernet cable between my best friend Mike's computer and mine, and we didn't have network. They didn't have networks in the college, so I set his IP address to something. I set it, and we were able to talk to each other. You can do the same thing with just a PoE switch. You set your cameras to an IP address, set your joystick, and then it can be done completely without connecting to your router at all. If you connect your router to it, it's just going to assign those IPs to all those devices. I would still hard code them because if something happens and you use the internet, then you're not going to be able to control anything. So I did the same thing on all of my stuff, all of my installs as well as mine. So let me, I'll cut over to mine right now so you can see. So here's my stuff right now. And as you can see, my BCB gear, my overhead, my PTZ optics, my ATEM, the hyperdeck, all of them are getting an IP address, but I set it to always be this. So the camera is set to always have the IP address. My router is set to always give this number. So if I just happen to shut everything off, shut my internet off, but everything is still connected to a switch, even if it's not getting internet, even if it's not connected to a router, the cameras have an IP address as well as the joystick. So I'll always still be able to talk to it. Just like the same way, if I lose internet right here, I can still talk to my printers and everything because my printer doesn't require internet. My local network here is still going to be the same. And if it's hard-coded, like all my stuff here is hard-coded, I can always get to it. So long answer, no, you don't need a router. It does make it easier, but it's not a requirement. Philip Paul, is there any way to connect the phone data to our main router, which is route to my A10 Mini Pro as a backup internet because I am using USB out to record? If you have like the portable router like I showed, it has a fallback that you can connect a phone to it, but that's a router that you would have to do. Like it's one of these pocket routers that you would do. So like for me, like again, I have a router. Like it's not really that one. That's the other one I actually got. This is the exact one that I have. As you can see, I bought it in 2018. So when I use this, I connect the Ethernet to my connection, but when we've lost connection at a football game, my phone is connected over USB, and I just go into the web, and this is the failover if something happens. So hopefully that answers your question. Duva. Hello, AJ. I have two PCs, one for live streaming and the other one for custom presentation. The alternate output set up on OBS. Using NDI not working for me. Could you help? Using NDI alternate output setup on OBS. So hold on. Are you trying to bring in through NDI or send out or just NDI in general? Let me know and I'll circle back on this. Hey, you are welcome. Darren, is it me or is it the audio level on the video? It's because I'm turning away from here. That's what it is. I got it maxed out on the board. That's me. Let's see. Yeah, it's I'm not talking up. Brian was going back to the nobody gave me there it goes. I was going to say nobody answered me, but then I see Scott and Rebecca answer me. Marvin the Martian. Guess who that is? The Illudium Pill 36 Explosive Space Modulator. Yeah, the volume is me. Yeah, I'm not talking that loud. But thank y'all. So Scott got it. He got it here. Um, Ernesto bought an A10 Mini Pro ISO. Is the free version of DaVinci okay for editing, or do you have to? No, I used the DaVinci Resolve, the free version, for years. I only got the paid one when it came for free with the Pocket Cinema camera. I did almost all of my videos on the free version for years when it was back to version 12. So now you're good to go. Robin, I believe that's what's a good software controller for a PTZ cameras using USB? That would be the PTZ Optics app. That is one of the best ways, and I can use that to remote in to do this one. Hold on. So let's go over to Antioch. So their system isn't on, but the cameras are. This was before I knew about having the PoE power on and power off and all that sort of stuff. So this is the PTZ Optics app. This is the older one, but the newer one works as well too. Let me turn the screen on, and I need to talk directly into the mic so it's not soft. So in here, if I go, and I don't know if the lights are on, if I connect to it, see right now, I can control the camera right there. So I still, they haven't moved anything. All the presets still work. So, I mean, that's good. The band, all this other stuff. So this software connects. It is using Visca over IP. I can go to the front camera. That was the SMT AV that I donated. And this software control works. You can hook an Xbox controller up to this. I think a PlayStation one will work too. But it is not sensitive, meaning that if there is no, let me slightly move it forward and it slowly moves. No, it doesn't do that. Even with this, it's full on, full off. I can't gradually move it to the left or right. There is no speed control when you do it like this. But the PTZ Optics app, this is version 1.4. They do have some newer ones, and it's free, and it will work as long as the camera supports that. Now, you have a USB one. Like Anthony, this is the same one. When you set this up, you can come in here and pick, is it a USB camera? And as long as it has the right protocols and you pick the right camera in the list, it will work as well too. So hope that helps you. Let me shut this down, let it reboot, and we'll be back. John, I understand the basics of Dante for audio over network, but what are practical uses of Dante? How do you use it in a church AV setting? I personally have not used it in a church setup like that. I think Otis down in Texas, he has that. Anything I've learned from Dante, I've gleaned from him, and now he has set that up. Anthony wants to know, how can I get audio from the AVCAN's PTZ to the live stream? So it's two ways, Anthony. How is that camera connected? Is it connected to a switcher, or are you just pulling it directly from the network? That would depend on the answer. Let me know, and I'll circle back to this. Back to Ernesto. How can you connect an ATEM to the Rodecaster Pro 1 and the input? How can you connect an ATEM to the Rodecaster Pro 1 and the input on the ATEM? How do you connect an ATEM to the Rodecaster? I'm not connecting my ATEM to the Rodecaster. I'm just making sure I'm reading it right. I'm not sending the audio from the ATEM to the Rodecaster. I am sending the Rodecaster 1 and now the Rodecaster 2 to my ATEM. Let me know if I'm reading too far into the bushes on this. But no, I'm not sending the audio from the ATEM to the Rodecaster. You're not able to do that. I mean, you could through the headphones, but I wouldn't do it that way. Just wanted to thank you for last week. I was able to use the RTMPs through OBS smoothly. Awesome. Glad it helped you. Bullhorn 1001. Love the name. Hello, sir. New to the channel. Thanks for all you do. Wanted to ask about your experience with fiber optic HDMI cables. Do you use them on your mobile setups like outside events and sports and shooting? No, I don't, because in the locations where I was, it was a lot of traffic. So most of the time when in outdoor events, I would use SDI, or I would use Ethernet. So like when I was doing the graduation at Prince George that we're going to be doing again this year. Let me see. Let me cut over and I'll show you. So this was where we did this 2 years ago. So that I skipped over too fast. So that was my original setup. We have grown greatly from the last time we did this. So that is, if I can zoom out, there it goes. So let me get a higher quality. Why is that doing in that? So that is my Ori HD base T. So I have an Ethernet cable going from here all the way to the camera that my brother-in-law was operating on the front. That's what I use for this distance. Or I think the year after that, I use SDI with that. Just a tough cable because where I'm at, if I can zoom back out. So right here, the ROTC walks in this way. So that's why we've had to tack down all our cables here. And one year they knocked something loose and tripped over it. So I make something that's very stable. The other camera sits right up on the stage right there. So that's what we've done. So, but with this wireless adapter that you see right here, I may just be able to just have my Anchor C1000 up under the table. So that's how it's getting power. And then wirelessly, it will just beam it over to me. I might actually do that. So that's what I'm thinking about doing this year, now that I just thought about it. Originally, I was going to use it because right behind us, there's an overflow about 150 feet away from me. I was going to use that to send the signal instead of running a cable all the way to that overflow so the people are underpass, so the heat and stuff like that. But we'll see. Philip Paul. Do we need a graphics card in a PC with a Ryzen 5600G? No, because the G in the 5600 is your graphics card. We'll be running it into 2 outputs or 3 at times. Any suggestions? That motherboard, most of the 5600Gs only have, the motherboard only has 2 outputs typically. If you're trying to go to 3 outputs, yes, you would need a graphics card to have that many outputs, unless you're using some type of USB adapter or something like that. Appreciate you, AJ. This is my first time viewing your live. Is this weekly? Yes, I typically try and do this every Friday. Okay, gotcha. You said this was back when you were saying the A10 Mini Pro, but you have the A10 Mini Extreme. If you have the Extreme, it only gives you 2 outputs. So you would have to go to something bigger like the A10 SDI Extreme that would give you 4 programmable outs, but that also introduces, you need to have HDMI to SDI converters, move everything to SDI, or have SDI to HDMI converters back and forth. But that's, like, I did that in Boston. I did that at Gates of Faith. I did that at, it was 2 other churches that I did the SDI converters. The SDI, because they had so many unique outputs for that. Back to Duva, custom lower thirds lyrics on Easy Worship 7 from the custom presentation to the live stream. All right, so you're trying to, so you're using Easy Worship NDI from the custom presentation to go to the live stream, which goes to OBS. All right, so a lot of times, the first thing that I like to do to diagnose if the issue is NDI or OBS in general is to get the whole suite of software that comes from NDI. And that also includes the NDI Studio Monitor, which is this. This is what I always use. And this, not even looking at OBS yet, because if I come here and I can see everything on my network, so I can see my cameras, all 3 of these, my computers, which this is vMix output. Nothing should be coming from this computer. So I'll test this here to make sure this is working. So if I see this, NDI is not the problem. What I typically do if OBS is a problem, let's open up OBS. I'm gonna open it up the traditional way. What I'll do is come in here to my source, and let's transform this back. And if I go here to properties, and if I don't see the same thing here or my stuff is not showing up, what I typically would do is open up OBS as an administrator. So I run this as an administrator. And typically, once you do that and you access NDI, you should get a firewall warning that asks for permissions. So like right now, this ain't working. Or did it? Oh, I opened up the old version of OBS. I thought that wasn't still installed. Hold on. That was version 20. That was version 27. That's strange. Why did it open that one up? Yeah, see, that's the old version. But anyway, that should, yeah. That's throwing me off. That shouldn't be doing that. Why is Windows only showing me that one? That's not right. Tools. Trying to find my link. See, that's 2002. Why is it opening that one? Hold on. I want to make sure I'm getting the right version of OBS first. Yeah. Why is that not doing it? Anyway, this is the right version. So I come here, run this as administrator. All right, one of the right version. And actually, I'm not on the latest version. The latest version is 30.1. Yeah, I'll update that later. But normally, this would kick off an NDI plugin and make it do all this other stuff. And you should get a pop-up saying, hey, do you have permissions to do this? Typically, when I do this, it unshackles whatever the issue was, and we're able to see the NDI there. I would try that first. First, go to the studio monitor. Do you see that feed coming from Easy Worship? If you do, NDI is not the issue. It's just an issue with OBS. I would run OBS as an administrator and then see if that comes through. Man of Reason. Is the HDMI matrix the only option for stage versus main display differentiation? Can OBS manage this with 3 TVs, 2 for hymns and scripture? I'm not aware of. Let me take that back. Hold on. I was getting ready to say I didn't think OBS could output just a view to one given monitor, a certain output. But let me see. If we come here, full screen projection, I don't think it will let me just push a given source to a different screen. Well, I can always do my full screen. Let me go into studio mode. Yeah, I'm not aware if it can do it like that. If anybody else knows, let me know. I am not sure. I thought when whatever you do the projector out from OBS, it's just you either have the preview or you have the output. I know vMix lets me do different stuff, but no, I'm not sure on that. All right, back to Anthony's question. I had to look back at what you said. You had to connect it over that. So it's not the same camera, but the concept is still the same. And I keep closing OBS. I should have left it open. But let's cut back over here. Let's go to my Famako over here. So first, we need to have our audio turned on, and we have our audio connected inside of that. So what can I connect? Hold on, let me connect the mic real quick. All right, I have my DJI mic hooked up to the Famaco. So we got it here. Now, once again, I should not have closed OBS. Now, there's two ways for this to work. Because I have the audio coming through, see, the audio is now being transmitted over NDI. See, I have audio enabled. Advanced audio properties, right click. NDI source. Oh, there it goes. Okay, am I missing something? Hold on, let's do this again. Let me NDI source. I want to select the Famaco. I want to enable audio. All right. What am I missing? It's not that. Sending audio. I mean, it's getting something. Hold on. Did I flub? Because that's a mic. That's not line in. I'm just going to crank it up just for right now. Submit. Submit. Test. Test. 1. All right. So it is coming from here. It's just really, really low. So I have it going through there. That's one way. Now, let's go through and do it from a media source. And that's going to be over the network. 192.168. I think that's it. Yeah. All right, it's there, but it's delayed. Test. Yeah, so it's the same way. You would need to enable it from inside the camera and have it hooked up. NDI will send it once you have it enabled. If you're using it over the media like this, it'll send as well too, but no, over the network, it's going to be delayed. So you just got to be mindful of that. And we're doing good. We're going along. I'm going to fire away maybe about 8 more, and then we're going to be shutting it down, folks. Back to Philip Paul. According to the supplier, he said has HDMI DisplayPort and VGA outputs. So the motherboard only allows either 2 outputs only. Yes, that's my practice. Anytime I've had something that does have those 3 outputs, all 3 of them did not work. Only 2 of them at a time. is there any way to get good sound when we record worship from the phone? I mean, that's kind of subjective, but if I was recording from the phone, I would actually not use the phone's mic. I would have an adapter so that I can plug the audio directly from the mixer into the phone and use like RecForge or some free recording app like that. G. Albert, I'm going to do 3 more and we're going to be done. Have you used the PTZ Director and or PTZ Director 1? I also see the free version. No, I have not. I have not heard of that, and I'll have to look into that. But no, I have not. And actually, that was the last one. So yay. Hey, folks, thank you so much. Want to give a big shout out to all my supporters. And if you like what we're doing here, folks, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can click the join button down below. We give some benefits and bonuses to those. I have not updated this. I saw a couple of people became new channel members earlier before this live streaming started. So thank you. My apologies for your name not being on here. I'll update that. But some of these people have been supporting me for years, and I greatly, greatly appreciate it. I don't want to, I'm still trying to process this, that this is my ministry. I don't like calling it that. I mean, even though that is what I'm doing for this season of my life. And if you like what we're doing, this is what we do. That money doesn't come in my pocket for me just to, buy all this other stuff. I've set that money aside to help do the giveaways and things that we do. And I really appreciate it. So if no one's ever told you, thank you for everything that you're doing to help with your local community, at your church, your city, your state, your country. Because if you weren't doing what you're doing, something would be missing out. You are called for what you're doing. No one can replace you. So I'm thankful that you're doing what you're doing, putting in all the hard work, watching videos like mine or anybody else's to help you perfect your craft, because that's what it's all about. Thank you for what you're doing. Really appreciate you. Y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And we'll be catching y'all on the next video, folks. Hey, Roundtable Sunday. If you've never been to one, 7 p.m. Eastern, you might want to be there. It's really cool. Anyway, folks, all the information on the Facebook group. We'll be talking to y'all later, folks.